Hi guys, it's Miss Hode, and I wanted to take a second to talk to you about the response papers that you're going to be writing for the guest scholars that are going to be talking to us during this Old Testament summer course. So hopefully what you can see on your screen right now is a Word document that I've created for you that is a response to a short 6-minute video on YouTube about the book of Leviticus. So for your response papers, I've asked you to briefly summarize what the guest scholar talks about. And you can see that here in this document in blue. This is a really brief summary. I want to remind you that your summaries should not take up the bulk of your responses. Your summary should be very, very short, just a chance to give us an overview of what the scholar talked about. And then after the summary, you're going to use a sentence or two to introduce your thesis or the arguments that you're going to be making. I said on the wire you should approach your argument in one of three ways. You can either agree with something that the author said, you can disagree with something and offer a counterpoint, or you can ask for clarification or pose a further question for the speaker. And I've given you an example of each of those arguments here in the paper. So my first part of my thesis statement says that I'm pushing back against the claim that Leviticus is only prophetic for the New Testament, and that is then further explained in this paragraph of the response paper. So that's an example of pushing back against something that one of our guest scholars says. I also, in green, give you an example of something that I really agree with. And notice when I agree with the guest scholar, I'm not just saying, yes, I think this is great, I like this. I'm also adding my own insight into the conversation. And that's here in this paragraph that has the green arrow going to it. And then finally, I give you an example of what it looks like to ask a follow-up question, maybe suggest an area for further study. And that's here in blue. I would also be interested Oh, sorry, I did something weird with the formatting there. I would also be interested in a further exploration of what Dr. Stevenson's concept of holiness looks like when practically applied to the Christian community. And then I talk about that in my final paragraph. So for your response papers, you might find as you're writing them, you need to add more parts to your thesis statement or take away arguments depending on length. We're shooting for something that's between 500 and 750 words. So if you have one statement here, one counterpoint that you're offering to our guest scholar that makes up all of your response paper, that's great. You don't need to do anything else. But if you have really fleshed out everything you want to say about your argument, the pushback, and you still are sitting at 300 words, then you might go and find something you agree with or an area for further inquiry and add that to your thesis statement. So I hope that helps. I am expecting to get some really good responses from you guys. I can't wait to read your work.